From Anshe Sfard Beth El Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Simchat Torah, the climax of all holidays. Look at the Sfas Emes, great Rabbi Alter of Ger, the third Ger Rabbi, who preached and wrote until about 100 years ago. We can find his beautiful descriptions of how Simchat Torah is the ultimate climax of all of the holidays. He writes that the Shalosh Regalim, Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot, the three pilgrimage festivals, they correspond to the Avos, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, to the forefathers. So what's Shmini Atzeres? Shmini Atzeres is a separate holiday. What's Simchat Torah? If it's not Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, it relates to Moshe Rabbeinu. We read about the bracha that Moshe Rabbeinu gave us. And Moshe, in Hasidic and mystical thinking, relates to all of Israel. He is not Avraham, not Yitzchak. He is every Jew. And through the Torah, every Jew connects with the Torah. And we have the blessing, not from Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, but from Moshe. And every Jew is connected to Moshe. As the Rambam says, every Jew, if he wanted to be, could be like Moshe Rabbeinu. Sfas Emes writes that Simchat Torah, or Shmini Atzeres, the 8th day, 9th day of Pesach, of Sukkot, is a Kachlis Kol HaMoedos. It is the culmination, it is the purpose, it is the final endpoint of all of the holidays. Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot, also Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. It's the end of the two different cycles and the completion of all these cycles. He writes as follows: "B'karvutam lifnei Har Sinai matzu b'nafshotehem or Torah asher natu avotechem bahem." See, Shmini Atzeres is to Sukkos what Shavuos is to Pesach. It is the time when we focus on the idea of getting the Torah. Now, when the Jews stood at Sinai, he says they found in their souls the spirit of the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu, which their forefathers had planted in them. See, first we have Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot that prepare our souls, and then when the Avos do their work, when Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot does its work, it brings out the Avraham and Yitzchak and Yaakov in me. It ultimately brings out the Or HaTorah, the light of Torah, the light of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is the culmination of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Simchat Torah is the culmination of Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot. It brings out that extra light that I have in me. He writes that on the Shalosh Regalim, we know the Gemara says that they would move away the curtain. We'd get to see the menorah, the shulchan, how fresh the bread was, despite it being out for a whole week. And one Gemara says that we actually would take away the paroches. We could see the Kodesh Kadashim. We could see the cherubim, the cherubs on the holy of holies and on the holy ark. We could see the cherubs hugging each other. So it's a time of re'iyah. It's a time to see God, to have a vision of God, and to be seen yira'eh. But the Sfas Emes writes that seeing, so they say seeing is believing. Well, seeing is one thing, but knowing is something else. Moshe Rabbeinu is not a matter of seeing. Moshe says, Hodi'eni na d'rakecha. I want to know you. Not just to see you, but to know you. It's one thing to see something, it's another to really know it. On Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot, we get to see, to have a vision of God, to Ola L'Regel, to go to the Holy Temple, to be able to have a vision of God and to be seen by God. But on Simchat Torah, we go one step further. Atah hareis al adas, we say as we introduce the taking out of the Torah, the great festivities of Simchat Torah, you have shown me to know. Simchat Torah is about knowing God. It's a higher level than just seeing God. It's actually knowing God. He says the purpose of Pesach, or the Exodus, Shavuos, to get the Torah. And the purpose of these holidays, which we just finished, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, is to be muchan LaTorah, to be prepared to get the Torah. Pesach prepares us with the 49 days of counting, prepares us for the Torah. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot prepare us for the receiving of the Torah, to rejoice with the Torah on Simchat Torah. The Medrash says that we mikan she'osim suda legomer shel Torah. You need to make a festive meal to finish the Torah. So literally it means that when we finish the Torah, on Simchat Torah, we make a suda, we make a meal. The Chassan Torah usually makes a meal for the finishing of the Torah. Sfas Emes interprets that we actually finish off the Torah. We become merged with the Torah. You see, Torah in the Aron Kodesh is nothing. Torah is just sitting there. It's a book on a shelf. The real Torah is when I become merged with the Torah, when I hug the Torah, when I learn the Torah, when I rededicate myself to read the Torah again. Then that's the Gomer Shel Torah that completes not only the individual, but it completes the Torah itself. It's the culmination not only of me as an individual, my holiday cycle, but it actually completes the Torah. We finish off the Torah by studying it. When it's just on the shelf, it's not complete. It needs me to make it real. Torah is studied Torah is read in a forest, and no one hears it. It's not Torah. On Simchat Torah, we embrace the Torah, and we complete the Torah by my embrace. Or he suggests that the Gimel Regalim, the Shalosh Regalim, the Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkos corresponds to the three aspects of the soul: the Nefesh, the Ruach, and the Shama, Naran. So what's Simchat Torah? What's left for Simchat Torah? There's only three parts of the soul. Simchat Torah is the extra in the Shama, the Neshama Yisera, the extra soul. There is a soul beyond the soul, which we get on Simchat Torah, and that's reflected in the great, great joy that we have on Simchat Torah. Now, every day, every holiday has a birkas moadecha. Every holiday has a bracha that comes with that holiday. What's the bracha? Bracha is to be able to see God and to have a vision of God, to have a vision of the Holy of Holies and the Holy Temple on the Shalosh Regalim. So what's the bracha on Shmini Atzeres? On Shmini Atzeres and Simchat Torah, we have the birkas Moshe, that Zos HaBracha Asher Berach Moshe Ish Elokim Es Bnei Yisrael. We really get a real birkas moadecha, a real blessing of the holiday, a bracha not from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, who all gave brachos to the children, but rather a bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu. It's a special bracha from Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe, who's so connected to every Jew, who in some mystical way, we're all deeply connected. Anochi Omei Beinechem V'Na'am. He stood between us, between God and man, stands Moses, and we are connected with Moshe through this day. Therefore, to get the Birkas Moshe, the blessing of Moshe, is a very deep kind of thing, and it relates to each one of us. And that's why each person stands and he gets an aliyah on Simchat Torah, connecting himself with the bracha of Moshe Rabbeinu. You know, the Gemara says that Yelchu Michayil El Chayil, that you go from strength to strength. It says in Tehillim. What does that mean? If you go from the Beis Medrash, from the Beis Knesset to the Beis Medrash, you go from davening in the morning to learning. Sukkah, he says, is a Beis Tefillah Kol Ha'amim. The Sukkos is about all the nations of the world, and they have prayer. The nations of the world have prayer. At Shmini Atzeres, we have something that's unique for the Jewish people, which is Torah. Shmini Atzeres, we go from the Beis HaKnesset, from the place of spirituality, the shul, the sukkah. We go back to the Beis Medrash, to the place of learning, to the place of dancing with the Torah and finishing the Torah, finishing ourselves in that process. Ultimately, when we're going from Sukkos, from Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, to Shmini Atzeres, from Pesach to Shavuos to Sukkos, we're going Michayil Chayil, going from strength to strength. And the highest strength is the learning of Torah. To go even higher than prayer. Prayer is for everyone. Learning Torah, to hear the word of God, not for God to hear me, but for me to hear God through Torah, through Moshe Rabbeinu. This is the highest level. We're coming from Sukkos, we're approaching Sukkos Torah. We have an opportunity to go from strength to strength, to go to a point where I, the individual, can help finish the Torah. With that spirit, hopefully it'll propel us into a year filled with the spirit of Moshe Rabbeinu, filled with the spirit of Torah, not only of seeing God, but of knowing God. Hopefully, this will help us have a Shnas Chaim V'Shalom, a year, health and happiness for us and for all of Israel. We wish everyone a Chag Sameach. Thank you for joining us here at the Anshe Sfar Beth Emet congregation for our discussion of Simchat Torah. Join us each week and each month as we continue to discuss Parshiot and the holidays as they're coming. Thanks to Jason Lefkowitz for making today's presentation possible. Thank you for joining us.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.